Hi, I'm Rick at RickTurns, and today's video is...
Hi, I'm Rick Morris, and this is the RickTurns channel. Before I get into today's project, I'd like to answer a question one of my viewers sent in. Larry from Frostbite Falls, Minnesota writes, RickTurns, I'm young. I'm wondering if woodturning would be a good profession to get into. Thanks for your question, Harry. Reminds me of myself as a young man when instead of becoming a professional woodturner, I decided to pursue a career as an itinerant pancake picker, going from farm to farm and field to field, harvesting pancakes as they ripened under the hot sun. After just 7 years, I advanced to waffle wrangler, helping to corral and fence in wild waffles so they could be shipped off to Waffle House. It was a golden age of the agri-breakfast industry, Mary, but it was coming to a close. Shortly after I got promoted to muffin digger, big corporations took over with machinery and automation, and I was replaced by the Muffinator 5000, which could dig and wash and pack muffins 50 times faster than a human. The handwriting was on the wall, and I decided a career change would be a good idea. I aimed at the up-and-coming field of office supply hunting and trapping. Now to get back to your question, Gary, oops, sorry, time's up. I'll put your question back in the queue, Jerry. Thanks for watching.
For my project today, I've got this really big chunk of cherry here. It's about 1.5 years old, I think, maybe 2 years, I'm not real sure. Came from a tree cut down in a friend's yard down in Duluth, Georgia. And you can see right here, there was a big limb coming off of it. And then if we look at the bottom, we see maybe I've waited too long to turn this because we got some rot going on right here. And I hope it doesn't go all the way through. And here's a 13-inch template. Yep. So that is definitely the maximum. Could put a 12-inch template on here, which will actually, I mean, that's what it's going to end up being anyway after I cut it down some and get it into rounds. So I'm going to go with a 12-inch template here to cut it down on the bandsaw. We got a nice slope surface there. It won't actually matter too much, so I need to attach this right about there. There's a screw and a washer. I'm just going to drive this in. Now, this part will be the bottom of the bowl. And that's about a 1-inch screw. Doesn't really need to be that long, but I'll be removing at least that much from the bottom here. Okay, I'm ready to bandsaw. Gonna run over to the bandsaw and get this moving. Okay, that's heavy. And I probably ran around a little bit more than I needed to. Anyway, time to cut this down to size. We're on the lathe. 450 RPM on a 5/8 inch bowl gouge. Wow. All right, I'm just above 500 RPM.
Okay, I'm at 1160, got rid of the vibration. That's pretty amazing.
Okay, this is the area of rotten wood right there. Yep, it is still very rotten. Not like it was going to cure itself overnight. Alright, as you can see, I've reversed it. It's mounted into the chuck on that tenon that I turned.
I'm running at almost 700 RPM. The 5/8 inch bowl gouge. Aha! Well, we've hit the rotten streak that's going all the way down through there. That's still ½ an inch thick with that great big huge void in the bow. I don't know if I want to take it any thinner. Yeah, I'm going to switch to a scraper here.
I've plugged up the interior hole down in here with some black epoxy and tried to shore up one particular point there. Now, this isn't dry. That was just like 10 minutes ago, and full set time is quite a bit longer, several hours or maybe even overnight. Overnight's going to work because I'm not going to be doing that much more today. Now, I want to mark out my peg locations here. I've got 1 1/4 inches. I'm going to be using 1/4 inch pegs here. So what I'm going to do here is mark off the locations. I want 1, 2, 3 lines. Okay, that works. Now, as I said, diamonds. There'll be a peg here, 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 and down here. I had to sharpen the pencil there. So, it's my first location. I want to make all my marks here with the same, exactly the same. And that's going to be with the, if you can see this, we've got a very sharp point there. Bevel's always going to be down that way, and I'm going to draw my first location right there. So I'm going to go 5-degree intervals. Let me try that out. So I would have a peg here, 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 two skips, and we'll start it again right here. Yeah, I think that's going to look all right. Off camera, I've done most of the pegging work. First, I cut a whole bunch of pegs using a 1/4 inch peg cutter. I drilled all the holes all the way around here, and then I pegged them in, or glued the pegs in actually, tapping them in with a hammer, And as you can see, alternated between light wood and dark wood. This is box elder, this is walnut. Pegs are all sanded pretty much flush, close enough so that I can use tools on them. I'm going to finish up the outside first, and then I'm going to finish up the inside, turning it thinner.
I've got a scraper here, about 1,000 RPM.
All sanding is done. Got to finish up the bottom. You can see from right there, it's a little thicker than what I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to take off some material here, and of course some here.
That's about 800 RPM there.
Final distract.
This is getting really embarrassing. Everything was going great. I was 30 seconds away from taking it off of the lathe, sanding the very bottom on the workbench and putting on a finish, and whoa. Well, you saw that catch. Got a catch right at the end there, and between the catch and the great big voids that were already in the bowl, it came apart, but the fault was mine. Wasn't the wood's. I'm not blaming the wood. Kind of discouraging. Sometimes I wish I could just snap my fingers and make everything snap my fingers. That couldn't possibly work. But it's not going to hurt to try. Wow! I have magic fingers! This is a poplar bowl with cedar pegs in it. I don't usually turn poplar. I don't normally have too much of it. But it's usually been pretty bland when I have used it. This one turned out nice. It's got some really dark wood right through the heartwood there. Sometimes it'll have purple streaks, but I haven't had any of that in quite a long time. See you next video.